What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode of our weekly podcast. We are batting practice. We got a good one for you today. Sorry we're a little late. We had some events and shenanigans take place over the weekend. Um, but we are here nonetheless. We got a great one for you. Um, Before we get into it, boys, it's Wednesday morning. How are we feeling on this fine Wednesday morning?
It's Wednesday morning, my dudes. Did you see me before or like as we started to record, as I hit the record button, I was like, "Oh my God, my mic isn't here." So I had to reach over and grab it. We're doing all right. This is the first time we've recorded during the day in a while, is it not?
Yeah,
It's been a minute. Yeah,
it
we're
might be
Yeah,
actually
the
night
first
owls.
Wednesday during the day ever.
but for our screen people,
Why
that's
don't you post it
Nosh.
on
We were
Twitter?
all together. We all live in different states, but we were all together. That's
Heck
why
yeah.
we were up to some shenanigans, but hey, we're back together on Zoom in our different states now, recording the podcast. We're doing good though. Um, you want me to start it off with a banger right away?
Bang
Yeah, let's
it.
hear
Bang
it.
it
All
away.
right. I'm gonna spoil what we're talking about here for 2 seconds. But I shared this in our group chat, but I put up my highest ever football score you have
Oh,
ever seen,
Oh
and it
yeah.
was with a cap 240 lineup. Oh, here we
Let's
go.
go.
Look at
Claim your
this.
glory.
claim
So
it.
I don't want to
Bang.
see that. So I'll claim those in a second. Passed. There we go. So my cap 240 lineup finished in 81st and put up 417 points. A soccer
Insane.
lineup with a
Yep.
limit of 240 put up 180 more points almost than what they were quote unquote projected to get by their averages. But look at that. My cap 270 team, higher cap, put up 277.
Wow.
So, anyways, let's start it off. Let's see what we get. It's a tier two,
Bang.
a tier two
Whoa.
soccer award. Yeah.
I don't
And some
even know what
ETH
this looks
and some
like.
coins. I didn't mean to click on that. How many coins do you think I got?
The question
300,
is it worth more than a
100.
tier 2 baseball card? I'm gonna
That's a good
say
question.
Ooh,
okay. No.
yes. Wow.
All right, let me ask you another question. Have you heard of this player?
I'm gonna go, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say no.
All right, here we go.
Ooh.
Italian
Italian.
defender.
Defender.
Oh.
Napoli.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
that's
pretty
I've
good.
heard of him.
That's
I've
actually
heard of
really
him.
good. Usable. Di Lorenzo.
Alright.
Too bad it wasn't last year for Napoli. But I
But
also
how-
won. I bet the lowest score $2.
Oh.
I know. I
Ah,
know.
Always
What
aim
could
for
have
the
So-
been?
stars, man.
Are you looking them up, Andrew?
I'm trying to, well, no, I'm trying to find an equivalent
Hey,
baseball
this
tier
is what you
2.
like to see. This is what you like to see. Games
True.
played 100%.
10
Hey,
Okay,
his new
972.
season card is $10.
all right. All right.
It's about $10.
Looks
Let's
like he's
see.
selling for about that, a little bit less.
Man, he sure does play every game. You
Oh,
can
here we
you
go.
can count on a 45 to 60 point score from him every game week.
Yeah, that's a solid cap 240 player. I won a
That is
cap 240
solid.
player from cap 240.
All right, Ha-Song Kim. He's a tier 2. How
Oh.
much do you think he sells for?
Ooh.
I
He's
bet
a
he sells for
shortstop though, or middle infielder.
I bet he sells for less.
I
Let's
bet he
see.
sells
Look
for
up a
like
pitcher, too.
$12.
You should look up a pitcher too.
If-
Although,
if his
no,
page-
your Clay Holmes pitcher tier 2 sold for like 25, didn't he?
It did, yes. So you
Yeah.
can get a
Oh,
Ha-Song
I was
Kim
close.
for $14 on
Wow.
the market right now. So a little bit more. A little
Yeah.
bit baseball tier
All right.
2s.
How about
There you
that?
go.
Granted, though, that soccer Napoli has like one game left, whereas
Yeah,
baseball
This is the
has,
last.
That's true. That's
Week
probably
of the
the
season.
cheapest.
Mhm.
if we looked in October or September, I'm sure Ha-Sung Kim versus Giovanni Di Lorenzo would
Might be
probably
reversed
be
a little bit, yeah.
reversed a little bit. But still, hey, shout out to baseball
Yeah, the card
and
prices
shout
are
out to
maintaining.
doing good in
A
football.
month and a half in, card prices are looking pretty solid still, I would say.
And with what we're going to be
Wow.
talking about more, I think that'll just continue.
mhm. What's up, Nash?
His new card in December was selling for like 25 to 35 bucks.
Wow.
Yep.
Again, that's probably the peak of the season. Beginning of the season, he was selling like September for like 50 bucks.
Woo!
This is the lowest he's been since last May.
Okay, there you go. So great
So
time to win a soccer
I
card.
would say expect a price boost coming up once the season starts at the end of summer.
Yeah.
That's solid. Very solid.
Heyo. So we'll
That
take it.
that has been factoring into my baseball. So I have been winning rewards. Shout out to Venus Sperm
Flex.
Whale.
Flex.
And for those that I'm on the fence about, I have been selling rather than keeping them in my gallery because I think, baseball probably this is the peak for cards in the season. Whereas, come July, come postseason, minus the teams that make the playoffs, you can probably get the same player for a pretty big discount. So I always like to do the inverse where, you know, these new what we're going to talk about actually might change my outlook a little bit, but before I thought I had enough cards that, any additional one that I won that wasn't better than any current player I have, that's an easy sell. But later on in the season, when the cards aren't worth as much, it's worth it to me for the long-term utility to like keep a Hassan. If I want a Hassan Kim in September, I would keep him because he's a decent player. But if I want him now, yeah, I might sell actually.
Jacob, I
What's up?
have a shout for player of the week.
Ooh,
Ooh,
let's
It's kind
hear
of
it.
a
Do you
it's
have some
kind of a
stats pulled up? Do you have his
I
score?
do.
Let's hear
I
it.
do.
Let's hear it.
It's kind of a weird time, but this was for the weekend games, so May 10th through the 12th. It is your boy, former Brewer, Carlos Santana for the Twins.
Heyo.
really?
Yeah.
He homered in all 3 games of this
Yep.
series.
Against Manoah, he ruined Manoah's
Yes,
start.
Manoah
He
had
sure
a
did.
great
That
start
guy
to
sucks.
podcast
He sure
legend.
did. He sure
No,
did.
Manoah was
quality
going on a
start
6
still.
inning
A
scoreless
quality
streak,
start.
Hey, he still pitched
and
well.
minus what your guy did. Boo, Carlos Santana. Boo.
Come on, he's the
Still
player of the
our
week.
anti-hero player of the week.
Ayo. But yeah,
But
so what's
yeah,
up?
homered in every game. He had, let's see, he had a total of 7 RBIs. He put up 15 the first game, 30 the second game, and 22 the last game for a total of 67.
67. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 70 with my bonus, but
Nice.
67 if he didn't have that player bonus. But yeah, 3 homers in 3 games is a pretty solid stat. So
Yeah.
Pretty
I
good.
No, I
also
can't go wrong with that.
I have a very early shout for this upcoming player of the week. Your
Our
boy,
live game week.
2 days
our
in.
live game week. Your boy, the Phillies pitching staff is kind
Oh
of
my
nuts.
God.
Aaron Nola yesterday, my rare Aaron Nola, 9 inning, 2-hit shutout, complete game shutout. Put up 53 as a starting pitcher, which is
Ayo.
pretty much the top. Can't get much higher than that. And he's helped me into currently I'm sitting at 23rd place. So hopefully a big day from my rare team today to bump me up, but uh we'll see. We'll see if anyone else breaks that score.
Nice.
See, I think that's a great score, but I think I also played Nola in my limited champion lineup.
Hey.
And the thing that I think I want to return to this debate. I every time a pitcher gets a complete game, I just see the lack of bonus for that, and
I
Mhm.
I just get
know.
so frustrated by that. Like he gets 27 points for all of the innings he pitched. He got 5 points for the win, but the other big portion of his score was from all of his strikeouts. But of course, if he gave up more than 2 hits, each of those is going to subtract from the total. So you don't get as much benefit from pitching volume. Of course, the more innings you pitch, the higher chances you get for a strikeout. But there's no real bonus for, I don't know, completing the whole game, which to me, like we've talked about it before in the podcast of using two pitchers versus using uh an extra hitter in that flex spot. But and I think for me, if there was a complete game bonus, this would be the sort of thing that made me be used to pitchers. Whereas now I always like to throw another hitter. So I also second Aaron Nola for having a great game week. But I wish it was a little bit better. I'm gonna pour on a little greed there and want more points.
Yes, I lied. He had -2 points from his 4 hits given up, not 2 hits.
Okay.
So
Okay.
4 hit complete game shutout. But yeah, complete games are becoming more and more rare with how
Right.
pitchers are treated.
Good point.
So I think it's, there's not really like a downside to giving 5-10 points for a complete game because it's so rare. So that 10-point bonus isn't going to be happening every game week for a pitcher. It's pretty infrequent. So I don't see why.
Sorry, what'd you say it was?
What do you mean?
It's pretty infrequent. It's what?
It's I don't know. What did I
It's
say?
so rare.
Oh, wow,
Oh,
wow. Little
bang,
flex on
bang.
little
Got
flex on
him.
them.
I didn't even mean it. Didn't even mean it. Don't even know what I said. It's just
You
natural.
said
It
so
comes
rare
natural.
without saying so rare. It's
That's
crazy.
funny. But yeah, I
It's
think
so rare.
I think some bonus points would be great.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
said that since the start of the
Same thing with a no hitter or
start of
perfect game.
I remember, in fact, when we were making our own fantasy teams in ESPN fantasy baseball, and we would make our own league, we would make
Yep.
sure to do a no hitter, a complete game, a shutout, perfect game, points for all of that. And sure, it happens a few times a season, if that. The complete games maybe a little bit more often, but a complete game shutout
Hmm.
or a no hitter, the fact that you're not getting any bonus for that is crazy. And let's look at Nola. I mean, the only thing you could have asked more for him would have been a no hitter. But let's say those 4 hits that he had weren't strikeouts, were groundouts, flyouts, whatever. He's not getting any more points for getting a
Nope.
no hitter, for not giving up those 4 hits. He's getting 2 points back
Right.
from the minus points, but he's not gaining any points. So let's say he did throw a no hitter and he put up 55 points. Carlos Santana, who hit his home runs in back to back to back games, I would say that happens relatively the same amount of frequency back to back to back games as a complete game shutout. Maybe it's a little more common. I don't know. But the fact that Santana put up 67 while Nola's only putting up 55 with very comparable performances, you can see why Andrew and all of us still lean towards putting a hitter in that secondary flex spot. So it's kind of interesting to see the scores and what they result from the pitching wise, but yeah, no, we're gonna complain until they add it.
Okay, I think if you want to look at the perfect example, game week 12, Mitch Keller against the Angels. He just pitched against the Milwaukee Brewers, picked up his first ever win against them. He went
I
complete
started him.
complete game. Guess how many Sorare points he got for 9 innings of pitching?
I think he only had like 4 or 5 strikeouts, didn't he? So I think it was a pretty low score. It was up, I want to say in like 42 or something like that.
He got 37 Sorare
Yeah.
points without the bonus. That is, I've seen lots of pitchers get that just from like anyone that's just a big
Strikeouts.
strikeout pitcher.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Which is
I,
a strategy, but
right.
Yeah.
for finishing a game,
Yeah, there has to be
like
something.
yeah,
He did get the win. It was not a shutout, so he did get the -1 or -2 points for one earned run. But just the fact that he only gets that the 27 from the innings pitched just does not feel right. So yeah, I think 10 points would probably make the most amount of sense to balance it out because a guy like Mitch Keller, who maybe isn't a big strikeout pitcher, but can give you volumes of work, like that's the type of player that shouldn't be penalized like they are in the Matrix right now.
Right. you know how we love math on this podcast? It's kind of our thing, some quick math. Okay, there have been 8 complete games thus far in the 2024 season.
Okay.
On average, teams have played around 42 games so far. So you figure 30 teams, 42 games each. That's 1,260 games so far this season. At 8 complete games, that's about 1 complete game every 158 games played in the MLB. So it's
Wow. Okay.
rare, very
Wow.
Yeah,
rare.
it's so rare.
It's so rare. So yeah, 10, even 15
Yeah,
points.
15.
Because that pitcher should be helping you win something because of how rare that occurs.
Mhm.
Right. It's at least like it should be like a home run. If your pitcher has a complete game, that should be like the equivalent of your batter getting a home run. You could argue home runs are maybe too
I
powerful,
was to say
because those
you
happen
could
way
argue
more.
Now
maybe a
it's like you
complete
could argue
game
the
should be
other
worth
way too. Yeah.
50.
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah. Because home run, there's a heck of a lot more home runs in complete games, that's for sure.
Mhm.
So,
Anyways, we got some new competitions,
ooh.
and as we rant about how players perform and what scores should be where, we are going to have to debate this even more over more
True.
competitions because they just announced this is actually 5 days ago now. It's always after we record is when they announce
Yep.
things, but we got finally a 24 gameplay update from Sorare. And the title is called New Competitions Are Coming to Sorare MLB. So to sum that up, we got a month-long competition, which to me is going to resemble something like the playoffs structure that they've done over a month. And then we also have special weeklies finally coming back. Woo.
Let's
So that'll
go.
be exciting. We've been hinted at a U25 competition. So keep for that one. As for what else, there'll definitely be one on the other side too, maybe like a 34 plus competition, something like that. So we'll see what there is. But what do you guys think? Do we need more competitions in baseball? Do you need more places to put your cards, or are we content with what we have? What's our initial reaction here before we get into the details?
It's so funny. Like, I compare baseball, I guess, most closely with basketball. I get so frustrated with basketball how I think I submitted 38 training lineups. 38,
That's
which is
wild.
insane.
That's
In
crazy.
baseball, I'm probably only submitting like three or
Mhm.
four
Yeah,
maybe.
me
And
too.
that's including like my extra common cards that I'm not playing. So I just there I don't feel that way about baseball where I guess I thought I had enough cards. That's why I was selling
Mhm.
some of my rewards earlier, where I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of content because unlike basketball, you need seven, and there are just a lot of injuries this year in baseball. Like so many of my guys, Reese Hoskins is now on the IL. I got to figure that
Mhm.
out. Jake Berger for me was also hurt.
Mhm.
So I feel like I was at the point in my gallery where I thought I had enough cards. That's changed. That's changed. How about you guys?
Yeah, I have 3 training lineups set. Quickly going through because on SoRare there's a nice little icon that shows you when someone's hurt. I just
Mhm.
counted. I have 14 people on the IL. A majority of those are IL 60.
Wow.
Ooh.
And that's 14 out of, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and flex, but I have like 80 cards right now in my gallery, and 14 of those 80 are
That's
hurt.
crazy.
I mean, that's a
That's
terrible
crazy.
percent. That is 25% of my gallery
Yeah.
is injured right now.
I mean,
Mhm.
you
So
have bad luck though.
yeah, I do. You're right. You're right. Mike
Shout out
Trout,
to Trevor Story.
Trevor Story, Mike
Trevor
Trout,
Story.
Yuri Perez. God, you could go down the list. It's kind of insane actually when you think about it. Um, but I'm with you. I felt good about my gallery. I felt like I was competitive in the competitions I wanted to be competitive in. And now I'm stretched a little thin. I don't really have the gallery to add in any more competitions. So I'll be making some harder decisions if I want to enter these special weeklies or not. And we'll get into the monthly competitions a little bit more, but I don't know. It's what we wanted. I'll just say that. I can't complain
Yeah.
because it's what we've been asking for. So
So let's just dive right into it. the problem that we're facing mainly, I mean, the special weeklies are one thing. You're going to require a whole new lineup for that. That's 7 more cards that you're going to need in your gallery no matter what.
Yeah.
But we
Right.
all scoured this article before reading or before starting the podcast, and we can't find anything about the monthly competitions requiring you to use cards in your lineup and not be able to use those cards in other lineups. Like in it just doesn't say anything. Like for example,
Champion. Yeah.
if I throw my Corey Seager
Yep.
into the monthly chase,
Yep.
will I get to use him in my all-star lineup too? Can I use him? Will he still be available to use for that? It doesn't say whether or not this will be a thing or not. Kind of hard to determine whether you'll be able to enter the monthly chase if you'll need to buy 7 more cards or allocate your team differently, or if you'll be able to use your cards in your gallery already. So very kind of just a miss on Sorare's part for not having it in the article, but I don't know. The special weeklies, like I said, are definitely going to require new season cards and just cards that will be used up, that will be counted for your lineups. But it doesn't say anything about the monthlies, so I don't know. I don't know. We will see. But personally, if I can enter the monthly with cards that I have already used, I might have a lineup for the special weekly, depending on what the rewards look like. I might try and enter that one instead of a limited National League or limited American League. But at the same time, yeah, my gallery is stretched thin with all the competitions that I'm already entering.
Yeah.
Because if you look right now, Champion requires 6 in-season cards. For the first part of the season, you'll need 5 in-season cards for each. For let's say you definitely need 5 for the special weeklies, so that's 11. Let's assume you do need another 5 for the special month-long competition. Now we're up to 16 cards. Granted, that is assuming you have 16 healthy players with good game weeks. I think you probably need for each of the lineups maybe an extra 3 pieces each. So maybe an extra 9 cards total. So now we're looking at 25 in-season cards and that's just one scarcity. If you wanted to do this at the rare or the super rare level and you wanted to play across the board, you're probably looking at 75 to 100 cards, which is crazy. But Sora is a business. They want you to buy cards. So, it's a great way. Like for me, I only have, I think, 7 in-season cards right now. And if I do want to play all the competitions, the thing I'm going to ask myself is it worth can I make this back by buying those cards? Or am I better off just continuing to play champion and just letting other people win the rewards in the in-season? I don't know. I haven't put much thought into it, but how do you guys think about your galleries and whether you'd want to add cards or what would get you to buy more cards?
I don't know. As someone like if I started to not put up scores on a week to week basis that I was content with, then I would start to buy cards. But I would say I've been pretty content with my lineups since the beginning of the season. It's been 14 game weeks so far, and I've won probably at least a reward box, if not a few, plus a few cards, cash, so on and so forth, every week. The cash and the cards are not coming every week, but at least the reward boxes are. Um, that being said, I feel like personally, if I were to buy a card now, a single card, or sorry, if I were to buy cards now, it would be a single card to upgrade a position rather than a whole new team to enter a new competition. Like
Yeah.
I'd rather drop $40 on a card that I can upgrade my limited champion lineup or my limited pro lineup than spending like trying to build another team to fit into somewhere so I can put more cards in the weekly competitions. So I don't know. We will see.
Mm,
Another thing you got to consider too for the chase is that they won't be handing out rewards every week. It'll only be at the accumulation of all of the 4 game weeks too. So yeah, if it does require your cards to be used for that, you got to keep that in mind too, that you won't be able to use them for 4 weeks. So
mm,
Right.
mhm.
Yeah, I feel like I'll still favor limited champ. I don't, again, once we see the breakdown of the rewards, for the special weeklies and for the monthly competitions, it'll be easier to make a decision. But um, right now, I don't see a reason why you would take your champ lineup and put it into one of these other competitions. It seems like champion will still be the way to go in terms of winning cash rewards. Now it all depends on the reward breakdown, how many people are entering these competitions, etc. It could end up being easier to win, but we won't know that until they open up and we see how many people are joining. But Andrew, going off of your breakdown, if you have 7 cards, new cards, and you're adding another 15 to 20, that's
yep.
going to set you back a good couple $100 to
Yeah.
fulfill
Right.
those lineups, if not more, if you want them to be competitive. So
Right.
you're looking at trying to make back 300-400 bucks maybe. That's a steep ask. Obviously, if you get first place, second place, third place, etc., it's going to be a heck of a lot easier. But if you're settling for these 5, 10, whatever they give out dollar rewards, uh, that's a steep hill to get back up to that 300, 400 mark. So going based off of that, it doesn't seem to make total sense. Maybe you go a budget lineup and try and do the monthly one, depending on if you need those cards or not. Um, but other than that, I don't see buying 3, 4 new lineups. It just doesn't add up in my head.
Yeah.
I agree.
And what we talked about at the beginning of the year too, like my approach for champion wasn't going out and getting the tier one star players, but rather the guys that could on a game week put up some big scores, like Jake Berger, Reese Hoskins. If they hit lots of home runs, they can put up a 67, like we saw from Carlos Santana. The problem though is if I try to take that same approach with the monthly competition, I probably won't have any success because the odds of them doing that for an entire month or doing it game week after game week after game week is not going to probably be as successful. Like I would bet that in a given week that Jake Berger can have the same score as Aaron Judge,
Mhm.
but over a month, probably not. That's where the tier ones will really start to shine since there's just so much if you zoom out at a monthly level, there's just a lot less variance since there's more data points. So if you do have those star players, they're going to put up, their averages will actually reflect them being a star. And of course, any game week within that month, they could have a terrible score. And so a Jake Berger might actually be the top player. Um, but so yeah, I don't know. It definitely thinking about how to do the monthly. Yeah, like that's an extra 400 bucks. Like that is a lot of money. And like I'd probably want to be confident in the players that I'm buying that they probably would have to be good enough to actually compete.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what will be competing for? That's the real question.
True.
Because if the
Money.
rewards aren't there, then why would you buy a team? But it looks like
Money.
we have a lot of cash coming. Their main thing that they're advertising is the July chase, offering $100,000 in total cash rewards.
All to me. All to me. Let's go.
They
Oh, dude.
so May and June are offering 20 in total cash rewards for the monthly chase.
Yep.
July is offering 100. So if they're going to multiply every cash amount by 5, that might entice me a little bit. But we also, and of course, this is going to require you getting a top 10 score, if not top 3 score. But we got
True.
All-Star Game tickets. We got signed merch. Shout out Julio. Shout out Juan Soto. We got MLB.TV subscriptions. So we also got some fungible stuff too coming our way. Hopefully, one of us will be able to top the podium one of those days. But there's a lot of fun stuff coming, especially for July with that 5 times the amount of rewards. All-Star game month too. So we might see some extra All-Star game weeklies with that too. But that's what we'll be winning. Do these excite you guys enough now that we talk about what we will be winning? Obviously, they'll also be offering reward boxes too. I don't know if there will be card rewards. I don't think so. I think it's just cash. But we'll have
Yeah, I think
reward
it's just
boxes.
cash.
You can win cards from reward boxes, and Andrew will win cards from reward boxes.
Ever since that night, that I have not won a single thing from rewards boxes. So
Ah,
I think we need to. I
You've
might have
used
to
it
save
all
them
up.
for a No. I just have to do it on stream.
save them up.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, they know when we're recording. So
Yep.
yeah, that's great. But yeah, I mean, I looked. So John had the breakdown. There's be $4,000 for limited for the first month. $1,000 for each of the special weeklies at limited. Of course, that's not going to go to just one person. They're going to likely spread that out over top 100 or top 200 or something, however they want to do it. So I would expect probably a similar payout to what you can get in Champion today. So I don't know. I think for me, it just comes down to how can I think that I can make it back, and if I think I can, then you'll probably see me bidding on some auctions. I do have like $100 in credits. Granted, it's only 25%, so I still have to come up with 75% myself. So I am in the position where I could make a splash. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
We
mean,
shall see.
that's pretty much
Mitch
Keller about it. These competitions, as I don't know if we said this on podcast or this was before, but it's game week 16 is when they start. And when we were recording this, game week 14 ends in a day, ends on Thursday. We're recording on Wednesday.
Yep.
So game week 15 will be the weekend, and game week 16 should start Monday the 20th. So there we have it. New competitions. Overall, sure, it might require new lineups, but this is what we've asked for. This is exactly what we've asked for. And let's be honest, we'll see all three of us in the special weekly competitions in a few weeks.
Oh, yeah.
That's normally how it goes. We normally sit here and say, well, maybe we might, and then we all end up buying cards anyway.
FOMO, baby. FOMO.
Yep.
Okay, wait. Before we move on to what you were talking about, Jacob, I feel like this needs to be quickly discussed because we talked about it, and then like a week or two later, it was implemented into the game. This seems to happen quite frequently. So I don't know. Whoever's out there listening, keep listening because we got some great ideas.
John listens.
I don't know if you noticed this, but there is a new tier of reward.
That's right.
There's a star
That's right.
reward now, which was never there. We talked about it, and then like a week later, there was a star tier. So don't know what happened there. It was probably in the plans before we talked about it, but I think that's hilarious that we talked about it, and then it just kind of shows up.
Yeah.
So yeah, a star tier. Just
Do we
like
know
soccer.
who's on the star tier list as of recording? Or have
We
they
can
not
look it up.
implemented it yet?
No, it's
We
in
should
there.
know.
All right.
I mean,
Rare
we'll know the
All-Star.
players.
Rewards pool. We got, let's go with limited all-star. Star tier. There we go.
I mean, it's who you'd expect.
Ohtani, Betts, De La Cruz, Acuna, Soto, Witt Jr., Judge, Gunnar, Tucker, Julio, Corbin Carroll, Bryce Harper, Tatis, Jordan, J-Ram, Freddie Freeman, Corey Seager, who's having a total off season.
Yeah.
Matt Olson, CJ Abrams, Ozzy Albies, Tyler Glasnow, Andrew is a star tier. You
That's
got
crazy.
a star tier.
Crazy.
Reward box, baby. Let's go.
Pete Alonso, Vladdy G, he's going to be downgraded. Zach Wheeler.
Oh, wait, by the way, Tyler's a great example of a pitcher that benefits a lot from the strike from the.
You're on a
current
first name
metrics.
basis with him now too? Oh my god.
Yeah. Yep. No, but he's like the opposite of Mitch Keller. He gets lots of strikeout. He puts up 50s as a pitcher pretty routinely, and that's why he sells for a lot.
True. Very true.
All right.
There you
Well,
go.
I guess I haven't shared it with you, but here the URL will kind of give it away. But we are about to do a tier list, and it's a tier list that Nosh knows doesn't know that he's doing.
Oh,
When I uploaded the pictures, they all came in sideways, but it's all right because we'll read them out. There's no way to fix
this is
it on the
good.
website.
This is good. All
But
right.
Nosh and I went to a Brewers game this weekend. My first baseball game in about a year and a half. My first professional baseball game in about a year and a
Professional,
half.
yeah.
Yeah, insulting to say on a baseball podcast. But the Brewers were away a week ago. And a week ago was May the 4th. So all of the baseball stadiums were doing their Star Wars nights for May the 4th.
Yes,
But the
Chicago.
Brewers didn't have one because they weren't home. So they did one the following Saturday. And it was the game that we went to. And I had no clue that this was happening.
Nope.
But we got there and there were a bunch of Star Wars characters walking around. And sure enough, when they put the players up on the board, they all had nicknames and costumes from Star Wars. So we are going to rank the Brewers lineup with their Star Wars. I don't know if it was AI generated nicknames or if it's what people came up with in the marketing department. But we have 10 players on the Brewers who were all given Star Wars nicknames. So without further ado, let's get into it. And I can read them to you too, if you can't, because they're sideways. And I don't know why they uploaded like this, because when I created the template, they weren't sideways. So
That's all right.
anyways,
As long as we breed them out.
we can.
Yeah.
So at the top of the order, batting off, lead off, having a great season so far, is Bryce Terang, who goes by Churang. Chewbacca. And they dressed him up like Chewbacca. And honestly, here I'll try and get that picture to focus too.
Oh my God,
it's
that's
pretty good.
Churang.
I was a fan of Churang.
That's up there for me.
Yeah?
I have other knowledge. I know some of the other names, and Churang is up there. It's one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Top of
might-
high of A before.
It might be top of A.
It's an A name.
It can move.
It's a solid A name.
It might get adjusted to S depending on the spread, but it's up there. It's a good one.
Next, we have General Contreras. William Contreras dressed up as General Grievous.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Nah.
solid costume, nickname,
Yeah.
D.
I was gonna put him in C.
Well, there's no F,
right.
so D is the lowest tier.
Yeah.
C is fine.
C?
I like C.
Could go down to D.
Yeah, it could. It could. This can all be adjusted.
All right. This one we're going to get some hate for, but this is third. We have Willie Adames, Cassian Adames. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't know what means. So that's my fault.
Not deep enough
we
into
look
the
it up
Star
real
Wars
quick?
fandom.
Looking it up.
Yeah, who's
All right,
Cassian?
Cassian Andor from Star Wars.
Andor.
Oh, he's in the new one. He's in the new one. Okay.
Oh.
Gotcha. All right. Honestly, that might be a D tier nickname for me.
Yeah. He doesn't
Yeah.
even really look like Willie, so.
Exactly. All right. Here we go. This one's great.
One's decent. Yeah.
This one's great. Jake Bowers, Grand Slam. Bowers Fett.
Bowers
For
Fett.
Boba Fett. But the costume is really
Yeah,
good. The costume is
good.
top
Oh
tier.
man.
And for that reason alone, I don't know. It might be S for me.
Did he hit the Grand Slam that game?
No, it
No,
wasn't
he
this
did
game.
not.
I don't know if he did anything this game.
That's all right. He had a good nickname.
But the next guy had a big impact on the game. I think Bowers Fett is it's not the greatest nickname, let's be honest. Like they tried a little hard, but it kind of goes hard. So
Yeah. I
It's not
I
as good as
think-
it's not as good as Churang. The
I was
It's
Churang
gonna
is
say,
also not
bad
as
I would-
it's also not as good as the next one
I'd probably do
because
that.
this guy
Yeah.
also had a huge impact on the game. Basically won us the game, +1
That's
on
true.
the war department. We have Reese Hoskins, Reese 3PO
Okay,
holding a
that's pretty
baseball.
funny.
Isn't that great?
That one is good.
It's
That
3PO.
one's up there for me too. That's a
I
solid
think that's
one.
my favorite one, to be completely honest.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I mean, I might be biased. Hitting a 3-run go-ahead home run when you're losing in a late inning, come on. But
That's
Reese
true.
3PO, it works. The name works. The costume works.
Yeah. Better than Churang.
No. By purely the name, no. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe top or
Okay,
S. Whoa, I was thinking like an A
Top of
tier.
A, top of A.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
true.
Oh, well, we'll see.
It can be adjusted.
We'll
It
see.
can be adjusted.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
All right, this next guy.
This had to be researched during the
I
game.
forgot about one. We had to look this up during the game. And this was another new character. But this is Captain Sansma, who is Gary Sanchez.
Okay.
And he was playing someone from one of the new movies. Honestly,
One of the
this one
clone.
it required
captains.
a look up. It doesn't have either of his names. It just has S.A. with the accent
S.A..
above the A.
Yeah. From Sanchez.
Because the captain's name was like Fansma or Phasma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Phasma.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is kind of an L.
I think this is the worst one.
This is terrible. He's not even like a big character.
Yeah, that's why we like obviously the big ones were like, oh,
What?
that's that. But that one we had to look up during the game. We're like, we have no idea what that's in reference to.
Well, they're a member of the Sire clan of the nuclear ravaged world of Pharasnos, where she became a formidable warrior. So
Sure.
yeah.
I don't new Star Wars lore. I'm not up on the new lore.
She's also
Clearly.
played by Brynn from Game of Thrones, I believe. Brynn, Game of Thrones, if you are a Game of Thrones fan, but I could be wrong with that. Anyways,
Oh.
next on the list,
This
another
one's good.
solid name.
This one's good.
We have Oliver Dunn with R2 Dunn2. And I think it would only be fitting if we put him in the A tier right next to C3PO.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Or Reese 3PO, sorry.
Reese 3PO is better than R2 Dunn2.
Yeah.
Right,
I'd agree with that.
Andrew, I'm not sure if you're ready for this one, but we have started off hot, but hasn't been doing anything recently. Blake Perkins was playing.
Oh, I thought it was just
And
Blake
I'll just
Perkins.
I'll just let you read the name.
Blake Porkins.
I forgot about Porkins.
When this popped up during the game, we were like, what?
Oh, going back to
Porkins,
R2.
I think that's my favorite name.
Going
think
back
that's
to
my favorite
R2,
name.
R2 Done2, shout out my mom who guessed the name before it came up on the screen.
Yep, that was
Wow.
also true.
Yes.
Blake Porkins.
Originally a traitor, on Bestine IV, Jack Porkins began to see the brutality of the Galactic Empire when they decided to build a base upon his homeworld.
I was right.
You were right, yeah.
Well, he was one of the X-Wing pilots, I'm pretty
Yep.
sure.
He was,
Maybe.
that is correct.
Wow.
Did he
Wow.
get blown up though
You
in
guys
the
know
Death Star
more about
mission?
Star Wars than I do.
I'm
Well,
pretty
we
sure he
have
died.
life as a rebel pilot. After joining the Starfighter Corps, Porkins was assigned to the expansion region, planet of
Porkins.
Tierfon. Let's see. Battle the night before Yavin. Oh, Battle of Yavin. Oh yeah, Porkins'
Yavin!
last words.
Yavin! I remember that from Star Wars Battlefront.
Last words, he died.
No, I'm all right. Porkins' last words.
Oh. So
Wow.
can we get a Porkins spinoff? I would
Yeah.
watch that.
Porkins'
I mean,
craft
okay.
struck debris from the tower and began to malfunction, causing him to drift over the Imperial turbo blaster batteries mounted on the surface. Porkins was convinced he could still navigate his fighter, ignoring Darklighter's warnings to extract from the area. No, I'm all right. Porkins
Wow.
fighter was caught in the turbo laser crossfire and he was killed almost instantly.
Oh my God.
No, not Porkins, man. Rip.
Porkins is a little big dude. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
That's why he's called
Okay.
Porkins.
I think pure comedy standpoint, it's a B.
Yeah.
Like it's hilarious, but it's also like it's just,
It's a dumb
That's a
name.
B. Yep, I agree. We got to
But
fill
it
a
was
B
really
tier.
funny. But it was really funny.
it's a good one though. Porkins. I like the
All
lore.
right, next one. Forgot to take a picture of this one, but I got it the second at bat. We have Sal Frelick as Sal Skywalker. And I'm gonna be honest with you, you can't get really more C tier than that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is the
Yep.
most mid name. Because you could have given that
Because
to anybody.
It's
Yep.
it's Luke. Yeah. You just put his name.
You
Just
could have
because
given
it's
it to anyone.
alliteration.
Yep.
Just because it's an S.
Like Blake
Sal.
Skywalker instead of Blake Porkins.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, Blake
That's a K
Porkins
in
hits
it.
harder than that though.
Blake Porkins hits harder than that. But last but not least, we had a pinch hitter come in. We actually had two, but Jackson Churios was Churio Calrissian or something like that.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it was
yeah.
not, yeah,
Hmm.
not that great. But this one might be our second S tier.
Whoa.
Pinch hitter. Joey Juan Kenobi for Joey Ortiz.
Yeah, that one's
with
incredible.
the lightsaber. Great name, great costume. It works. It rhymes. It fits with the original character's name. Honestly, Joey Juan Kenobi.
Yeah,
Top tier?
it's
That's
pretty
an
sick.
S tier. That's an S tier.
I think Churang's the best still.
Churang's really good.
Yeah,
There we have
that's
it.
solid.
So
There you go.
all of these pictures are sideways, so if anyone wants me to like Temple or something, I'll definitely do that.
Or just rotate your screen.
Yeah.
There
or
you
just
go.
Rotate your computer. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll screenshot it and rotate the screenshot so it'll be vertical.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. Well, there you
There
have
we
it.
go.
Should we
Bryce
do a quick pickle while we're here?
Oh,
yeah.
sure. Why not?
We got to do it.
We haven't
Why
done a
not?
pickle
We're
in a while.
mid-season pickle. We got it.
That's true.
Easy.
We should be in top pickle form.
Yep.
We should be, you're right. I think we gotta go Joey Ortiz.
Or
Oh, I was gonna
Churang.
say Bryce Churang.
Oh, that's right. He deserves it because he's top of the.
Yeah. Well,
Ooh.
Okay.
it's a righty from the
American.
USA.
Probably in
Doesn't
the
play
AL.
second base.
And he's in the AL West or East.
Hmm.
That sounds just
Aaron
like
Judge. Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge. Ooh,
A
Too many A's.
Ron.
A-
too many
A-Rod.
A's. This
On the
could
next
be it.
episode of
This could be it. Oh,
it's the West. My least
okay.
favorite
AL
division.
West, the worst division. Just kidding.
So.
Is it like
Um,
Mike Trout? He's a center fielder.
Oh yeah, no.
Is it Taylor Ward?
Julio. Oh no, Julio's not. Is he American?
No.
Yeah, why not? Taylor Ward.
Yeah, Taylor Ward.
Not,
It's not
the
the
Angels.
It's okay.
It's close. Close in age. 28,
have-
29.
Always have the last year's World Series champs to fall back onto.
It's true. The Rangers. Not a left
true.
field. It
It's
could.
gotta
We
be
should probably guess a
older.
pitcher. We should probably guess a pitcher.
Oh,
Well, no, it's
wasn't
it's
wasn't
20.
even
It's
thinking?
probably someone that's 29. It's got to
Yeah,
be
like
28 or
29.
29.
Eovaldi? How old is Eovaldi?
Yeah,
It's
that's
got to
a
be
good
in his
shout.
late 20s. 34.
Wow.
No, it's a
Well,
little
let's see if he's
old.
on the Rangers though.
I would say we'll get Rangers and pitcher out of the way. Not Rangers,
Starting
is it a
pitcher.
pitcher?
Okay.
All right.
Could be a
Could be a
relief pitcher
relief
though.
pitcher.
That would be a problem.
That would
Could
be a
it
problem.
be
Someone on the
Presley?
A's.
Presley on the Astros? No, he's
Alright.
he's like older, isn't he?
That's
Yeah,
could be
he's
a good
too old.
shout. Oh, he's
35.
35. Oh my gosh. Wow. How old is
How old is
Bregman?
Bregman?
Ah,
We got to do it.
Brent Rooker could be.
Oh, Brent Rooker.
Let's
Yeah, he's been
send
going
it.
kind of off recently. Oh, there's no way.
I typed in BR
There's
for
no
Bregman
way.
and then or BRE for Bregman. And
Is
it was
Did they help us
Hey,
with that one?
Hey,
They helped
doesn't
They
us.
matter
helped
how
us
you get
out.
there. Doesn't matter how you get
They
there.
helped us out. That's true.
Dude, shout out Brent Rooker and shout out the A's. Brent Rooker's been going off, and the A's have kind
Yeah.
of been going off too. It's awesome. And
It's
Shea
deserved.
Langeliers. Yeah. Screw the owners, man. That's awesome. Wow. Well, there you have it. Let us know what you think of all the Brewers nicknames. Did your team do May the 4th Star Wars
Cubs
night?
did not. I was
Wow.
there.
Of
Cubs did
course they
not.
didn't.
Wow.
Because they suck.
Do they even have a
Yeah.
scoreboard to put up pictures like that at
No.
Wrigley? Not that you would have been able to
They
see
do.
them from your seats, but
True. You can't see. Oh no, you can always see the scoreboard. You can't see the
you
plate.
can only get the scoreboard watch because you can't see the
Dude,
game.
okay, just off the top of the head here, the biggest trader in all of the land is
Craig
Council, but Chancellor Papeltine was also a trader.
Oh, it's only they were
Counselor
doing the Cubs.
Papeltine.
Oh
That's
my
it.
Just
god.
saying, just saying. What could have
That's
been?
Counselor
too bad.
Papeltine.
What could have
Oh
been?
Wow.
man.
There you have it. Right off the dome. There, we're on fire right now.
Good
But
one.
yeah, let us know what your team's nicknames were if they did it, unless they were lame like the Cubs and didn't do it. And yeah, don't forget to check out the socials. Go subscribe to our YouTube. Leave a rating wherever you are listening to our podcast. We appreciate it. Until next week, hopefully a little earlier than this week. Sorry we were late, but here nonetheless. Until then, you just attended batting practice. Wow. Wait.
Whoa.
Redo.
Whoa. You can't redo when we're recording live.
You just
Can we
attended
redo
batting
the whole
practice.
podcast?
Yeah, we should probably start over.
Yeah.
Ow.
All right, one more time. Third time's the charm. Here we go. You just attended batting practice. Now you ready to get in the game. Peace.
Boo.
This is what happens when we record on a Wednesday morning.